Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Mikel Arteta is becoming increasingly concerned about Thomas Partey. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta is becoming increasingly concerned about Thomas Partey, with the Sun reporting he could sign a replacement in January. The fantastic Partey joined the Gunners back in the summer of 2020 as he made the switch from Atletico Madrid. The 29-year-old has been a standout performer in Arteta's midfield, but has struggled massively with recurring injuries. There is no doubt that Arteta's men look a far better side when Partey is on the pitch, but he has often found himself sidelined during his time in North London, and now the Sun claims the Arsenal boss is starting to become worried about his recurring injuries. The Sun reports Arteta is becoming increasingly concerned about the absences of Partey from the Arsenal side. The Spaniard now wants a top-quality replacement to reinforce his Gunners squad. Arsenal will make another move for Aston Villa midfielder Douglas Luiz in January, with the report noting that the Gunners had two bids turned down on deadline day. The Gunners face a big clash against bitter rivals Tottenham Hotspur on Saturday and are sweating over the fitness of Thomas Partey. Football London reported Arsenal are hopeful that Partey, Alexander Zinchenko and Takahiro Tomiyasu will be available. Partey returned to Arsenal's starting lineup in their last Premier League game against Brentford. The Ghanaian helped the Gunners to a 3-0 win at the Dutch Community Stadium, but Football Ghana reported that Partey picked up a slight injury during the warm-up before their friendly against Brazil. It seems to be a recurring issue for the Arsenal man ever since making the switch to North London. Partey has been impressive during his spells on Arteta's side, but can't seem to avoid niggling injuries. Arteta will be hoping the midfielder will be back in time for the clash against the Spurs this weekend, with Arsenal looking slightly short in midfield without him. It's definitely an area the Gunners will have to target during the January window, with Mohamed Elneny currently sidelined. Brazil boss Tite now makes comment about Arsenal's Gabriel Jesus after leaving him out of latest squad. Brazil manager Tite has commented on Arsenal striker Gabriel Jesus after leaving him out of his latest squad. With the World Cup just around the corner, Jesus did not go away on the most recent international break. Tottenham striker and North London rival Richarlison was chosen instead, and he scored in a 5-1 win over Tunisia for Tite's man. As per The Athletic, Tite has spoken about Jesus' World Cup hopes, and it's clear that the door is very much still open for the Gunners man. Gabriel Jesus is in great form and is in the running, absolutely, Tite said about the man, who has scored 4 times and laid on 3 assists this term already. This squad is about giving opportunity to others, he added. That is exactly what Jesus will have hoped to hear, and it has been reported that the 25-year-old's agent are confident he will still go to Qatar. As Tite said, Jesus has been in great form so far this season and has adjusted seamlessly to life at Arsenal as they have raced to the top of the table. Jesus could well come up against his countryman Richarlison in Saturday's North London derby, which Tite will likely be watching with keen interest. The former Manchester City man is now getting more game time and relishing being the main man, which made his recent snub surprising, but it seems he still has every chance of making it to Qatar as part of an exciting squad which will fancy its chances of lifting the trophy. Ian Wright blown away by Arsenal forward Bukayo Saka. Arsenal legend Ian Wright has praised Gunners and England star Bukayo Saka on the Wright's House podcast. The Highbury icon loved how Saka brought chaos in the Three Lions 3-3 draw with Germany in the Nations League. Saka has become one of the first names on Mikel Arteta's Arsenal team sheet, starting on the right side of attack. However, the Gunners ace found himself playing at left wing back in England's Nations League loss to Italy. Although Saka worked hard, he was always going to struggle, influencing the game out of position. Then, Phil Foden got the nod over Saka in England's game against Germany on Monday night. For much of the game, the Three Lions fluttered to deceive against the 4-time world champions. Then, Saka came off the bench on 66 minutes and played a part in dragging England back into the game. After the Arsenal ace came on, Germany struck through Kai Havertz, making it 2-0 to the visitors. But after Luke Shaw pulled one back for the host, Saka's through ball allowed Mason Mount to draw the host level. Further strikes from Harry Kane and Havertz rounded off the scoring in a 3-3 draw. Saka nearly won it in the last seconds when he embarked on a powerful run from halfway. The Gunners' 21-year-old forced Marc-Andre ter Stegen into a fingertip stop to keep the scores level. Wright acknowledged that the game was boring until Saka and Mason Mount came on. The Arsenal legend then admitted he liked how England were going into the World Cup in a chaotic state. It means the group can be brought together, concluded Wright. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It was boring, he told Wright's house. You want some chaos, and Saka brought the chaos against Germany. I love the vexed Mason Mount that came as well. I like that we are going into a tournament now with this chaotic. Our manager isn't good enough. Why is Harry Maguire going? Why didn't he pick Tomori? I like going in with this because this group can be brought together. Mikel Arteta keen to extend the 21-year-old Arsenal player's contract after a stunning start to the season. A report from Jean Foutte suggests Arteta has been particularly impressed by Folarin Balogun and he wants to extend his contract. In his first 8 appearances for the Red and Whites, Balogun already has 5 goals and 2 assists. Balogun has started all but 2 of Rams' matches this season and is currently outscoring Alexander Lacazette and Lionel Messi. The report suggests that Arteta wants to extend Balogun's contract and his time at Stade Reims. However, this will all depend on if Reims stays in League One, as they currently sit in the relegation zone. Balogun has carried his club form into the international break, where he joined up with England's under-21s. He scored the first goal against Germany, which was described as a wonderful moment of brilliance. He also impressed Arsenal legend Thierry Henry, who was really happy to see Balogun make the move to League One. Despite his brilliant form, Balogun may still struggle for opportunities at the Emirates if he returns next summer. Gabriel Jesus has been exceptional since arriving from Manchester City, and Edin Ketia has also just signed a long-term deal. Another year out on loan will give Arteta and his staff more time to assess how best utilize Balogun. Jean Foutte reports that the 21-year-old's current deal doesn't expire until 2025. However, it's a real sign of the faith Arteta has in Balogun that he already wants to extend his contract again. Mertesacker says Nwaneri debut gives all Arsenal Academy players a big boost. Arsenal were cruising to a 3-0 win over local rivals Brentford when Mikel Arteta made the strange decision to give a debut to the 15-year-old midfielder Ethan Nwaneri in added time. It may have seemed like a futile gesture at the time, but Arteta said he just had a gut feeling that it was the right thing to do. But per Mertesacker, who is the head of the youth development team, thinks that it has made him proud and given a great boost to all the young players of all ages, seeing that their dreams could also come true. Mikel gave everyone a powerful message, he said on Arsenal.com. I have to say how much it trickled down. I've seen videos of the under-9, under-10 squads cheering Ethan on a tail end when he came on, players that would start the same journey as he did in the grassroots academy were cheering him on. So all of a sudden, he has been escalated to be a role model and a positive influence for young players. It's just brilliant to see. That's what we are proud of, that we can show progression, that we can show pathways. It was a very proud moment, first of all for himself and his family. It's a reflection as well of what this club is about, what the academy is about. A lot of youngsters entering the academy have the dream of playing for Arsenal Football Club, and he made that dream come true. It was a proud moment for us as an academy. The Gunners are definitely aiming to invest in young players for the future, and within Ketia, Saka and Reiss Nelson, all on this season's squad list, the youngsters can see that they too can fulfill the dream of playing for the Arsenal first team if they carry on working hard and progressing. Arsenal already planning to launch a January bid to sign Douglas Luiz. Arsenal are planning to make a third bid for Aston Villa midfielder Douglas Luiz in January. That's according to a report in The Sun. who believe Arsenal want to sign the Brazilian for £15 million. Arsenal had two bids for the unbelievable midfielder rejected at the end of this summer transfer window. Journalist Rudy Galetti reported on deadline day that Luiz was pushing to join the Gunners, but a move never materialized. Arsenal then turned their attention to Luiz's compatriot Danilo. However, that pursuit ended in failure as well. Mikel Arteta's side could have paid the price for not bringing in another midfielder. Thomas Partey and Mohamed El-Neni both picked up injuries, leaving Arsenal short of central options. Albert Sambi Lokonga partnered Granit Xhaka, but is some way off the level required to be a regular starter for a team chasing a Champions League place. Douglas Luiz could have made himself very unpopular at the Emirates, having joined Arsenal on deadline day. The holding midfielder scored his second direct corner of the season against the Gunners a day before the window closed. Steven Gerrard had to have a heart-to-heart talk with Luiz to get him back on side after the transfer didn't happen. He returned to the side against Manchester City before coming off the bench against Southampton. An injury to Boubacar Kamara, who appeared to be Luiz's replacement, may make Villa unwilling to sell the 24-year-old. However, Villa will lose the midfielder for nothing next summer if they don't sell him, as his contract is set to expire. Arsenal appear to be in a relatively strong position to sign Luiz, and it's good to see they are already planning a bid, with the Sun also reporting that Mikel Arteta is becoming increasingly concerned about Partey's fitness. Reinforcements are definitely required. Arsenal-aware Premier League sides are interested in Mudryk. Journalist Dino Jones has told Give Me Sport that Arsenal are aware that as many as 8 other Premier League sides are interested in Mykhailo Mudryk ahead of the January transfer window. It appears that there is a very good chance of Mudryk moving to England at some stage in the future. The 21-year-old has become one of the most talked about young players in Europe in recent months. He has been superb for Shakhtar Donetsk and Ukraine, and a number of Premier League sides are now admirers. Fabrizio Romano reported that Arsenal had approached his representatives. Meanwhile, Everton had made a bid and Brentford has also held an interest. iNews suggested that Newcastle could make a £50 million offer in January. 90 Minutes have claimed that the Gunners sent a scout to watch Mudryk in action against Scotland in this international break, so it would certainly appear that Mikel Arteta's man may be leading the charge for his signature, but in reality, it's almost getting to the stage where it would be quicker to list the Premier League teams not looking at a deal for Mudryk. They are more than aware that there is about 7 or 8 other teams in the Premier League keeping an eye on him, Jones told Give Me Sport. I know Arsenal still have an eye on him too, and I think that this is a big talent that probably will land in the Premier League in 2023. He added, it will be interesting to see if the amount of interest in Mudryk prompts Arsenal to act quickly when the January transfer window opens. The longer they leave the door open for their rivals, obviously, the more likely it's that the winger will head elsewhere. It could, of course, be a special season for Arteta's side if their start is a sign of what is to come, and with that, January could be a really important window. Signing someone with Mudryk's ability could make a real difference. He is a serious talent with the capability to race away from defenders with ease. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.